Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Sakshi Kaushik. So today we are going to learn the format and the techniques of note making. So before starting with the video, I would like to ask you all a secret question. That is, whether you have subscribed to my channel or not. If not yet, please click on the subscribe button below. Click the bell icon as well so that you get notified as soon as I put any new video. So let's get started with today's topic. Today's topic is note making, a very popular topic amongst the students of class 11th and 12th because their board exams are coming and note making is a very essential, crucial 10-marker question. So I have written the format down, but before moving on to these theoretical things, I'll read out a very small paragraph to you. So I have taken an example. I've written this para myself. So I've taken it as an example of the paragraph you would get probably in your board exam or school exam or any kind of exam. So don't think the paragraph that I'm going to read and the paragraph that you're going to get in school would be at the same difficulty level, because I've taken a very basic and extremely easy and interesting para. This is because so that we can learn it in a much more interesting way. So I want to introduce all of you to my friend Dora, and this paragraph is about this friend Dora. So let us get started. Dora goes to her school at 8 a.m. She attends all her classes and is a consistent and active student. She loves to read books on fiction. She goes to her tuition at 3 p.m. to complete her homework. After getting back home at 7 p.m., she takes her dinner at around 9 p.m. She goes to sleep at 10 p.m. So this was the story of this little Dora. Now, if we were to make notes for this particular paragraph that I have taken as an example, not to be considered as a real question, how would we make? First of all, why do we make notes? Notes are made so that we can simplify our task. If we are reading this thick book or this thick chapter, then we don't want to read those 15 or 20 pages again and again every time we are revising. So we make these concise notes so that whenever we want to revise that chapter, we can just refer to our 2 to 3 pages of notes. So if we come back to this example, let us try and put in the things from this paragraph to these titles, right? So first of all, we have to give a title to our note making. As soon as you have read the paragraph that has been provided to you, you have to think of a very suitable and a crisp title. The title should not be a long story. It should be very crisp, clear and attractive. So here we have to give a title. All of you heard the paragraph, right? Were you paying attention? Okay. So you heard the paragraph. Now think of a title of your own. The title that I have thought of is Dora's Life. So we can give, this is a short and a sweet and a crisp, interesting title. Dora's Life is the title that we can give. So we are done with the first step. The second step, as you can see, there are main points. The main point is the major heading that you want to give. A major heading under which you would put some other things that you want to. So from this, first of all, in order to identify your main points, what you have to do is, you have to identify the major themes that are there in your paragraph. So this small paragraph has 3 major themes that are basically about Dora's routine. Number 1 was Dora's school routine. Number 2 was Dora's tuition routine, and number 3 was Dora's home routine. So I have already identified these 3 major themes. So my main point number 1 can be, if I want to write, it can be Dora's school routine. But another important point for note making is, we should only use phrases. What has to be done is, only phrases should be used while making notes. We should not use the whole sentence. So what we have to actually do is, we do not have to typify the whole sentence over here. We have to make it into a phrase. Now what is the difference between a sentence and a phrase? So if I want to tell you, I'll tell you a sentence for example, We'll take the sentence from here only. Dora goes to her tuition to complete her homework. This is a sentence. I want to convert it to a phrase. So how can I convert it into a phrase? All the joining words, I'll remove those joining words. Instead of saying the complete thing, Dora goes to her tuition to complete her homework, I'll just write tuition colon homework. So that is what you will understand, that Dora goes to the tuition, you will put the colon and you will write homework. Or even these are notes, so you can use the short form of homework. So this can be a phrase. I do not have to write the whole sentence. By this only I will understand she is going to tuition to complete her homework. So similarly, here we have to use phrases only. So our main point number 1 was clarified. Main point number 1 can be for school routine of Dora, right? So here we can write school routine. Done? We can write over here school routine. Instead of writing Dora's school routine, we will write a phrase that is school routine. That's it. Title, we have already given Dora's life. So of course, everything we are discussing is about Dora. So here we can just manage by writing what? School life. Done. Okay, now we want the sub points. From here, we know the school routine. That was our main point. School routine is that she goes to her school at 8 a.m. So here we can write reaches dot 8 a.m. Or you can also write reaches at 8 a.m. Okay, if you would write Dora reaches her school at 8 a.m. that would be a full sentence. We just need phrases. So reaches at semicolon 8 a.m. After that is, it says attends all her classes regularly and is a consistent student. So subpoint 2 we can write classes semicolon regular, and we can use this abbreviation for and, regular and consistent. Okay. Now consistent is a big word. We do not wish to use such a big word. We'll use an abbreviation for consistent. We'll make an abbreviation of our own, maybe CONS and an S above. So we have used this abbreviation for consistent, and you have to make sure that anywhere you use the word consistent again, you have to use the same very abbreviation. Another abbreviation that we used is this. That is a very common abbreviation that we are using. Then another subpoint, maybe from the paragraph itself you can write, it says that she loves to read books on fiction. So here you can, in subpoint 3, you can write book lover, or you may write bookworm. So you are understanding my information, right? You just need to put in small words, small phrases, not complete sentences, so that anytime you want to read it, any person who wants to read your notes just has a glance and understands the complete story. This is the aim of note making. Now subpoint 3 you have written bookworm or book lover, or any whichever you like, whichever word or whichever phrase you prefer. Now there is subpoint. Now what do we mean by subpoint? For this point we have a subpoint. Now we have already written book lover, bookworm. Here you can write, in the para it was mentioned that she loves fiction books. So here you can write fiction. Here you can write active student. Okay, fiction, active student. Similarly, you can go ahead with main point 2 and main point 3. For example, main point 2, the topic for main point 1, the heading for main point 1 was school routine. For main point 2, it can be tuition routine. For main point 3, it can be your what? Home routine or house routine. Okay, so like this you can go around. Now another important thing that I want to tell you about note making is indentation. What is it? Indentation. So this is a very important factor, indentation, and that is, if you see, I have drawn a line over here. This line acts as the margin of your notebooks. Now the main point 1 should be a little closer to the margin. Not just with the margin, but a little closer. The sub-point that you would write should be away from the main point. So at least this much gap should be there between your main point and your sub point. The next sub point should be exactly below this sub point. And when you want to write sub point, it will further go towards your right hand side or whichever side you are checking your notebook as. So it will go towards this side. So this is known as indentation. First it was near the margin, main point. When we moved on to sub point, it became little bit over here, shifted over here. Sub point, further shifting. But when we come back to main point 2, it should be in alignment with the earlier main point. The third one should also be in alignment. All of these should also be in alignment. And if any sub point is there, that should also be in alignment. So this was a very, very important concept of indentation. Done. So this was the basic body of your note making. The next task that you have to do in your note making is key to abbreviation box. What do we mean by abbreviation? Abbreviation is the short forms that we are using. For example, nowadays what are the short forms that we use on our WhatsApps or other social medias? IDK, that is I don't know. That is a short form, right? Even these arrows are in the form of short form. Increasing, decreasing, these are short forms, nothing else, right? So here we have a key to abbreviation. Any abbreviation that you may have used in your main body of the notes, you have to put that abbreviation over here and you have to write the full form so that the examiner or anybody who is reading your notes will be able to understand the abbreviations that you have used. Okay, if there are universal abbreviations, everybody would. But the abbreviation that we used, consistent, nobody would understand. Maybe somebody thinks it is conscious, maybe somebody thinks it's constant. Nobody would understand, right? So you would put this abbreviation over here along with the full form. And minimum, you should have 3 abbreviations. That is a must. So you have to find out at least 3 words which you can abbreviate. There can be more, but minimum is 3. Second task over. Now moving on to the last and the third task, easy task, that is the summary. Now whatever note making you have done, you have to write a summary of this. Now summary should not be more than 80 words. 80 words is the maximum limit of a summary. To most you can go to 85, not much more, right? So this main body of the note making, you made it from the sheet of paper that was given to you on which lot of paragraphs were written. Maybe 6 to 7 paras were written and out of that you made this note. The summary, you are supposed to make the summary from your notes itself. So whatever notes you have written, you have to write it in the summary. But notes we wrote the notes in phrases. In summary, we have to convert those phrases into sentences. So are you understanding the cycle? The question paper that was given to you, which had a paragraph on which you had to make notes, that had sentences. First, you will convert those sentences, only the important sentences, into phrases to make your main body of the note. After that, you will convert that main body of the note's phrases into sentences in the form of a summary. Now, in summary, you can omit the dates. If any kind of date is given, like on this and this date, on so and so date, this discovery was made, you can omit such kind of dates. You can also omit any kind of extra information that is given in the form of statistical information, like 2,54,000 people were disregarded, or any such information that has been given, you can omit. So you can omit the dates and extra information that would further concise your summary. So only the important points you have to take from your main body, not the dates, not the extra information. So this is the whole thing that you have to do in your paper as soon as you get the note making question. The main body, the key to abbreviation, and the summary that you have to write. Now I have certain important points that I want to tell you regarding note making. Always keep in your mind these points. Number 1 point is the main points that you have. Minimum number of main points that you can have is 3, and the maximum number of main points that you can have is 5. So don't go beyond 5, don't stay beyond 3. So at least three main points you should be having. If you get a lot more piece of information, then you can go up to 5 main points. So main points, 3 minimum, 5 maximum. Done. The second important point is that no subpoint and no sub-subpoint should be alone. Okay, these are very good companions, very good friends. They cannot stay alone. So if you are writing subpoint 1, there should be a subpoint 2 as well. You cannot just write subpoint 1 and get away, right? You have to give this subpoint 1 a friend in the form of subpoint 2. And then subpoint 3 is your wish. If you want to add, you add. If don't feel like, then don't add. Okay. Now, same goes with sub-subpoint. No sub-subpoint can stand alone. It needs a friend in form of sub-subpoint 2. Done. And this is no compulsion that I have written sub-subpoint over here and not here. So you can use only sub-subpoint over here only. That's no compulsion. You can use sub-subpoint anywhere you feel like, when you feel that I'm giving a particular heading, but I need more of the information within this heading only, then you're going to use the sub-subpoint. Done. The next thing that is very, very, very important, that is the third point. No sentences are to be used, only phrases are to be used. So while making the note main body, you have to use only and only phrases. No complete sentences. Marks cutenge agar complete sentence use kiye to. Okay. The next important point is that you can use colons. This is a colon. You can even use dashes. Okay, if you want to write something and dash, if you're not, instead of the joining words, you can use these colons and dashes. With the help of these colons and dashes, it would be very easy for you to convert a sentence into a phrase or make phrases of your choice. Okay. So yes, this was all about note making, and the link for a detailed description of note making is given in the description box below. You can check out the PDF. I have given the handwritten format for you so that you can easily have a look on it. And practice, practice, practice is all that I can say for note making, because you never know what kind of paragraph you get. So you have to practice, you have to keep the format not on your tips, on your lips. And also these 3 things, don't forget to make the key to abbreviation table, because many a times this is the major problem that happens. We forget to make the key to abbreviation. So make this, do the summary and do the main body of the note making. So that was all for today's video. Stay tuned. Like the video if you like the efforts and anything that you liked about my video. Hit the like button, subscribe, share, and stay tuned for more and more videos. Study hard, party hard. Bye-bye.